Do you know what's that alien that sits on Jabba's shoulder and makes that laugh that you can do, Mike? What's that thing?
I don't know what the alien is called, but that alien's name is Salacious Crumb.
Can you go ahead and The Mandalorian is hot.
The Mandalorian is Star Wars at its best.
The Mandalorian is my favorite thing on Disney Plus.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Fallingtower's Watch the First podcast with comedian Michael Kenyon Rosenberg, special guest, and I guess what would you call yourself? A dinosaur aficionado, Jurassic Park junkie?
Jurassic Park junkie.
Jurassic Jen, also known as Jennifer Durst, but pretty much Jurassic Jen. My name is Ryan T. Husk, and this is the Watch the First podcast in which we watch the first episode of a series. So if there's a series that you want us to watch the first episode of, just put WTF and the series. So if you want us to watch the first episode of Seinfeld, just say WTF Seinfeld in the comments below. So give us those comments, tell us what you want us to see, and today we are covering The Mandalorian. How you guys doing? What do you think of it?
I'm fantastic.
Oh, I'm great. And I got to watch it again, so even better.
I did have a real quick question for Jen. I just wanted to know why they called you Jurassic Jen, because you don't look a day over Paleolithic.
It's because I love Jurassic Park.
Oh, okay.
It has nothing to do with my age, just Jurassic Park. That's why.
The Jurassic Age.
The Jurassic Age. I have a whole Instagram dedicated to it. My Twitter is mostly about it. It's just all Jurassic Park. The whole franchise.
You have a YouTube also, right?
I do have a YouTube. I need to get better with my YouTube, but yes. I have a YouTube with all little sketches and everything Jurassic Park and dinosaur related.
So if you want to see more of Jen, look in the description for a link to her YouTube.
Or just watch the end of this podcast all the way through.
Oh, yes. Maybe we'll just announce it at the end so everybody watches the whole episode.
Now, Jen, you like Jurassic Park, but you also seem like you like Star Wars, right? What did you think of Mandalorian? Give us what you thought in the first 1 minute. In the first minute when, you're seeing the aliens in that cantina and, go back to that first moment where you hadn't seen it, hadn't known anything about it. What'd you think automatically?
I think exactly that. I didn't really know what to expect, so I was kind of excited. And then when I started, I was like, okay, this is really cool. And so you're just saying the 1 minute, right? Because I have so much to say about the rest of the
just
episode.
Right now, what was your very first impression? Did you think, oh, this is kind of slow or this is dark? Or do you think like, wow, this kind of reminds me of Star Wars?
I have like a low attention span. So normally I would say it could have been slow for me, but I was like hooked on it. So right away in the first minute, I knew I was going to enjoy it. It reminded me of Star Wars, and this is actually like my favorite part of it. Actually, I couldn't see it. So I loved it.
Your favorite part of Star Wars or your favorite part of the episode?
Like, yeah, because so when I watched Star Wars but it was just like I watched it once and it was fine, but this it just caught my attention like right away, and I knew I was going to be hooked right away, so I enjoyed it.
What about you, Mike? When you first laid eyes on it, your very first impression, what do you think?
Well, obviously before I watched it, I heard all the buzz, but when my wife and I finally got access to Disney Plus, we sat down. We're like, all right, we've heard all about this Mandalorian thing. Let's check it out. We turned it on. We pushed the button to push play.
So far, so good.
We viewed it with our eyes.
Oh.
And the first images that hit our eyes were the Lucasfilm logo and their cool little animation. That's a new thing that I've never seen before. Maybe it's not brand new, but I thought it was a kind of a cool nod to Star Wars of the past. And you got images of like R2-D2 and Darth Vader, and right away you're getting excited because you're like, Star Wars. Or at least I was, because I'm a nerd like that. And And then they show you this snow world, opens up on a snow world, and the Mandalorian has this tracking device, and he's tracking somebody. And then he walks into this bar, and yeah, you're right. It totally reminds you of the cantina from the Scum of I have a Scum of Villainy.
From Tatooine. Yeah,
from Tatooine, right? Mos Eisley, Mos Eisley Cantina. So yeah, it's definitely. I was reminded of that, and then they've got this weird fish guy who you see his head getting hit on the bar, and so I mean I'm just telling you what's happening in the episode, but I guess the point is that I was just very excited about it all.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, you're telling us though.
Huh? What?
Okay, we all did it, so now we can move on. So
you didn't do it.
No, I meant the thing. We all said
Oh,
so
yeah, we did.
Great.
I was like, what are you guys talking about?
Huh?
Jurassic Gen.
Well, you gave a way more detailed explanation of it than I did. But yes, you told
I
us
told you I was a
whole.
nerd, yeah.
You took notes.
Yeah,
I just rewatched it
think
again.
when I first started watching it, because I heard the buzz too, but I didn't watch it when it first came out because I just wanted to watch it all in one shot, just kind of binge it. And people were right. You know, as soon as you start watching, it feels like Star Wars. It feels like the original trilogy Star Wars, because you're into this what feels like a cantina. It's very reminiscent, and obviously it's a nod to a cantina. You know, there's all kinds of aliens, and some of them we recognize. You know, oh,
nothing.
And I think that's just kind of what they were going for. They were trying to say, like, look, we get that a lot of you kind of cried and complained about the episode 1, 2, and 3, and kind of cried and complained about 7, 8, and 9, all this other stuff. And they kind of went back to their roots, and it really felt like they were deliberately trying to bring back that magic. And for me, it was evident in the first 20 seconds or 30 seconds that they tried and succeeded to do that.
It totally worked.
Jen, were you always a giant Star Wars fan, or have you seen all of the episodes, all of the movies?
So, like, I loved Star Wars, but now this is like a whole new level. So now I'm like obsessed with The Mandalorian. I watched the season twice. So
you're saying you like The Mandalorian better than any of the movies or series?
I think I wouldn't say that maybe I am. That's what I am. I feel like all the movies I've watched the movies, like all of them. And like literally like in a row, I just kept watching. So if we're judging it by, I'm going to say that.
I think we're getting a weird connection with you, Jen. Can you...
Is it me?
I don't know. Are you hearing her okay, Mike?
Yeah, I'm hearing some buzzing.
Okay. Well, anyway.
I hear you guys fine, but then you keep freezing. So that's why I'm like...
Yeah, it's a little nippy out. So, and Michael, you've been a giant Star Wars fan from the beginning, right?
Well, I mean, since I was born, yeah. But I was born in 1978, so I can't say that I've been a fan since the beginning.
What's your favorite
Since the
movie?
beginning.
My favorite Star Wars. Oh God. I would have to say, I mean, this is going to be an unpopular opinion, and I know that.
Oh boy!
But I'm going to have to say Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Why?
Simply because of Palpatine's monologue at the opera. Did
I ever tell
you the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise? So, the show was created by Jon Favreau.
Right, superstar.
I guess he maybe is most well known as the director of Iron Man and Iron Man 2. And then he was also on Friends. As an actor, he was on Friends.
Really? What did he play?
He was like Monica's boyfriend who was like a millionaire.
Oh, yeah.
But then he like wanted to get into MMA fighting.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Right.
I remember that too.
He's like, I've conquered the financial world. Now I just need to conquer the MMA world. And
Jen,
then
He's awesome.
can you do a Monica impression now that Mike did that impression?
I don't.
That's pretty
All
good.
I know is that she cleans a lot and she's OCD. So I need to find some lines to do for her. You guys hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now.
So worried about. Now I'm like, can you hear me? I don't know if I could just say a whole monologue and you kids keep talking. You can't hear me.
Yeah,
Right.
off and on. So,
Well, if you do a Friends episode, let me know because I'm in.
all right.
Well, if anybody wants to see us do
anybody
an
wants
episode
to.
of Friends, yeah, WTF Friends.
Right.
Mhm.
Perfect. I also wanted to mention that we are doing this podcast commemorating our 20 years of Fallingtower. Can you believe that Fallingtower has been an actual entity for 20 years? That's almost like 2 decades.
Whoa.
Almost, yeah.
So,
Have I ever told you the story of Darth plagued by technical difficulties?
Darth plagued. So let's just talk about the episode. Oh, this was something that I noticed. Was that Brian Posehn on the speeder?
Yeah, Brian Posehn, yep.
Stand-up comedian Brian Posehn, who you know well, right, Mike?
I don't know him personally, but...
Did you recognize him in a second?
Yeah, well, yeah. Yes, I did. And then I looked it up just to be 100% sure. And actually, once you hear him speak, you're like, yeah, that's...
I lost you guys.
Did you find us yet?
Who said that?
This is like horrible.
Yeah.
Okay. This is horrible. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
So we're talking about the stand-up comedian Brian Posehn.
You might know him best from Just Shoot Me.
Or his stand-up comedy stuff.
Yeah, he was also on the Comedians of Comedy.
Okay, I didn't see that, but yeah.
The Comedians.
What were you talking about him about?
He was the speeder driver when the
cabbie.
When the Mandalorian had no droids and he brought in the pilot or whatever, that was Brian Posehn.
He was like the Uber driver, yeah. He was the Uber driver for. I remember that.
Yeah.
So, also, that was him. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
You know what I do? I watch these things with the closed captioning on.
Oh, that's a smart idea.
Because every once in a while I'm like, because here's the thing, when he captured that guy, and I'm skipping ahead a little bit, and he put him in his ship, and the guy says he was like saying, "Oh, this is a cool ship," you know, and he said, "Cool ship, Razor Crust, right?" And I was like, it sounds like he's saying Razor Crust, but I'll just bet he's saying Razor Crest.
Crest, yeah.
So I put the closed captioning on, and it was Razor Crest. For those of you that were gripped to find out what the answer was.
That's a good idea, because there was another thing he said: if you've never seen a fledgling mithril evacuate their thorax, you're a lucky guy.
Right.
I'm kind of wondering what exactly what it is he said there.
Well, now you know the trick.
Mithril or mithril.
Jen,
put the captions on. What?
Jen, did you notice how they were bringing back all of these alien creatures that we remember from back in the day? Like when he went to another cantina later, and then there was like a Greedo alien. I forgot what those are called. You probably know. There was a Bosk alien, or maybe those were Greedo and Bosk. I don't think so. I think the Greedo one wasn't even.
Well, Greedo's dead by this time. Anyway,
that's true. He was shot in the Bosk. So it was those kinds of aliens. Did you recognize some of your favorite aliens, Jurassic, Jen?
I back and watch it again. I did recognize like the Jurassic Park when they're on the ice thing. That thing that came out of them reminded me of like a dinosaur, the dinosaur in Jurassic World, the Mosasaurus. That reminded me of something. So it actually took me into my Jurassic Park land, which I love. But I have to go back and rewatch and see all these other aliens again.
Yeah, the thing that reminded me of dinosaurs were those blurgs. I called them walking fish dinosaurs because they kind of look like fish.
I called them, at first I called them bipedal monsters.
But we're all bipedal monsters, really.
Yeah, true.
So are we?
Mike, tell us a story about when you really got enthralled by this. I don't know if it was in the first 20 seconds or if it was at the very end or if it was in like the something poignant, like when we see IG-11 or when we see Apollo Creed showing up.
Yeah, I guess enthralled, I would probably say, yeah, when the IG unit shows up, that's kind of when I kind of geeked out. And plus I knew that that character was played by Taika Waititi, the Oscar-winning screenwriter of Jojo Rabbit. And he also directed the final episode of the series, but we're not talking about that yet. We're only talking about the first episode.
What's his name again?
Taika Waititi. He's a New Zealandish actor and filmmaker and director. He's directed many great movies. He also directed Thor Ragnarok, which
he's
good
directing the new Thor too, I think.
Yeah, Thor Love and Thunder, correct.
Yeah, Love and Thunder. He's directing that too.
You know, they're originally going to call it Axe, just because, you know, Thorax.
Axe.
Ah, Thorax.
Thorax.
But I'll say that that's when I really got enthralled by it. But one thing that obviously made a lot of us geek out is when we see the carbonite freezer on his ship, and we see all his bounty frozen and encased in frozen carbonite, and then he freezes this new guy. Yeah, that's one of the coolest things right there.
Yeah, that's another one of those things where when you see it, you're like, wow, this guy's really making sure to put in all the nods of the original trilogy. And that was a big one. Not only that he bumps into the carbonite things, but then he ends up turning him into it too.
Right.
So, you know, we're all like, oh yeah, we love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Jen, how did you feel when you saw that? Really excited?
I think that was the first thing that really made me go, oh my God, that's like from Star Wars.
Now, there's that German guy. Does that guy have a Werner Herzog?
Werner Herzog.
I thought you would know who that is, Mike, because I didn't, but he looked familiar, and he definitely had a German accent, right?
He is mostly a director, but he does act from time to time.
Are you looking him up?
See, when I saw him, my first thought was Mike probably knows who this guy is, because I don't know why, but Mike likes German actors, it seems to me, but maybe I'm wrong.
Are you just like German actors?
Yeah, only actors.
Only.
Do you know what's that alien that sits on Jabba's shoulder and makes that laugh that you can do, Mike? What's that thing?
I don't know what the alien is called, but that alien's name is Salacious Crumb.
Can you go ahead and Jen, can you do that?
No. I'm really bad at impersonation.
Maybe try though, right?
No, you try it.
I will if you do.
He did ask you first, to be fair.
You can't even hear me.
I heard everything you said right there perfectly.
Oh, now you guys hear me.
Yeah.
Or do you want me to do an impression?
Yeah. So
but what was the point of that?
The reason I brought that up was because, there are a couple of them, as we saw in this episode.
Right. One
was being roasted. The other guy was going like, oh, and I thought of how exciting that was.
Yeah.
And
probably made Jabba hungry.
I can't hear you now.
Jen, what's going on?
What is happening?
Jurassic, Jen.
I'm just like really bad. Like technology doesn't go well with me. It's always like breaking down on me.
Well, why don't you tell us, Jen, so we get a better idea of your perspective. What, besides The Mandalorian, what's been your favorite Star Wars movie and why?
I haven't watched them in a while, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be able to. You should have told me to rewatch them before this. Well, we used to watch. So back in the day, when I was younger, I used to go, and it was junior high school. We had somebody at our school that used to take us, and then they re-released all of them in the city, and we went and rewatched all like the first ones, the first 3 I think we watched. So, but then I haven't really rewatched. Well, then I rewatched them like in high school. Then I rewatched them a few years ago. But I'm a fan of like the first ones more than any of them. It's never. Mm-hmm.
And which was your favorite one out of all those? If you remember back in the day when you used to watch them.
I don't know. Tell me some of them, and I'll tell you.
A New Hope. Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi.
Empire Strikes Back. But I'm telling you, I haven't like watched them in a while. So that's why
I haven't watched them in a while either.
Really, well, I was actually surprised that I was so into The Mandalorian, like, to be honest, because like I haven't really watched them in a while. And then when I started watching The Mandalorian, I was like, oh my God, like I'm like really into this right now. And I got really like into it, obsessed. So that's why I was actually kind of shocked about it, because I haven't seen the other ones in a really long time. So, But I do remember Empire Strikes Back, that I went to go see it, and I really liked that one too.
So speaking of Empire, should we now talk about the big reveal at the end of this episode?
Yeah.
Oh, the big reveal. That's my favorite part.
Jen, we're not talking about that. What's the big reveal, Mike?
Well, Empire is where we first meet Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
And the big reveal of this episode is that there's a baby Yoda.
The cutest thing ever.
Pretty damn cute.
What do you call it, Jen?
I call it Baby Yoda too. But it's funny because I saw memes about it, and I was like, it's so cute, but whatever. Then after watching The Mandalorian, I was like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with this baby. Like, he's so cute. It's just the things he does in it that makes you love him even more. Like, he's cute physically, but then his like stuff, But he's just so cute.
What did you do?
Yeah, when he's like,
what did he do in the first episode that you thought was the cutest?
He just looked, it was him looking, and then he put up his hand,
batting his eyes.
He's just so cute. Like, even that's how it ended, right? Like, they're just like touching each other, and like every single.
Did it remind you of E.T.?
And he's just so funny. A little bit, like, yeah. At the moment, it didn't, but now that you're saying that, I'm like, what is E.T.ish?
Yeah, they did this thing. So anyway,
you guys completely froze on me.
Sorry about that.
But I don't even know what's happening. Like, you guys keep freezing, and then I'm like, huh? Okay. Yeah.
It happens. You know, it's the Empire trying to frustrate you, but you got to rebel.
That's how they get you.
You got to rebel. Now, Michael, which is which is your least favorite Star Wars movie, just so we get a better idea?
What was episode 8 called again? The long, slow car chase through space?
Yeah, well, the Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the ninth one was The Rise of Streetwalker or something, right?
Yeah, I've only seen it once, and like...
that was enough?
I mean, I'll watch it again. I just have not been overly compelled to watch it again. Like, The Force Awakens I thought it was really good, and I wanted to watch that one immediately right after. But and then the Skywalker one was pretty good too. I thought it kind of like saved it from The Last Jedi. But
Jen, have you seen the most recent trilogy?
I was gonna say, is The Last Jedi the one that everyone hates? Is that the one that there's like a big thing?
It's
about
not, there isn't a
worst one. It
consensus.
ruined like everything, kind of.
Well, there isn't a
That's what-
consensus, to be honest.
Actually, no. The one that they say ruined Star Wars, and I'll actually change my answer to say that my least favorite Star Wars movie has got to be Solo.
Really? Why?
Um,
Why
So-
mark it?
I didn't watch that, but I heard really bad.
Yeah. So, Mike, why did you mark it so low?
yeah, exactly. Probably because it's not the right market for me. I don't know. It's like I felt like the Daenerys Stormborn character, whatever her name was in this
Right.
in this movie, was just. I didn't really buy that she was like just going to go off on her own and like be the ruler of this cartel or whatever it is. Like, it's like I didn't really buy that and like their whole story together, her and Solo. I didn't really buy any of that, and it seemed a little bit too manufactured. I mean, obviously, The Mandalorian throws in a lot of Easter eggs to kind of satisfy that part of the Star Wars fandom, but I felt like Solo was like reaching for it.
Right. I liked
Did you
Solo.
watch it, Ryan? You watched it?
I've seen them all. Yeah, I liked Solo, but it wasn't so much for the script. You're right. The script was a little off.
There's a lot of holes, yeah.
But it was fun. It was entertaining. It was retro. I enjoyed it. I think my favorite of the newer movies is still Rogue One.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that great of a movie, but as soon as it ended, I think I said that was an A+ ending to a C+ movie. But then that was enough to kind of bring it up in my view, because it's ended so strongly and it was good enough all around, and I liked the characters. But Solo was fine.
Where Solo had like an F- ending to a C+ movie.
Yeah, I barely even remember it. No, it was fine. Our buddy Don Crandall said, that's right. Our buddy Don Crandall said that it was a heist movie. I was like, that's a good point. It's just basically like an old school heist movie. What do you think, Jen?
What? What you said, Solo?
Yeah.
Okay. I told you I didn't see it.
Oh, did you see Rogue One?
Oh, wait, what are you talking about?
Did you see Rogue One though?
This is crazy. Yeah. Because I can't hear anything.
Oh, we were just asking if you saw Rogue One.
Rogue One. Which one was that? Reminds me. This is like the
Moulin Rouge one.
Moulin Rouge. Yeah. I probably did. When did that come out? I'm telling you, I haven't watched Star Wars in a really long time.
Then probably not. Probably not. It was
recent.
I feel like it was recent. Then
maybe 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, something like that.
If it was like 3 years ago, probably, yeah. I just feel like I haven't watched it in like the last year. So I probably saw it then, yeah. I just don't remember like which ones are which. Sorry.
That's fine. It was like a I don't know. It was a good movie. I liked it. It was basically the thing that kind of sets up what happened right before Episode 4, A New Hope. It's people, they do their thing, they have their successful mission, they all die, and they rush to bring the
Death Star
plans to destroy the Death Star at the last second, and it ends up right where A New Hope picks up. I hope I didn't give you any spoilers if you haven't seen it, Jen.
Spoilers. If it was 2016, I definitely saw it. I just feel like I haven't seen Star Wars in like the last maybe 2 years, year and a half. So I definitely saw that one if it was 2016.
So back to The Mandalorian, which character stood out to you, Jen, more than any of the others? Do you just love The Mandalorian, or are there other people and characters that really stick out?
I do love The Mandalorian. In the first, I know I have to remember first episode. Of course, Baby Yoda. But how do you pronounce his name? The one that Nick Nolte plays, Krill?
Yeah, Q-Will or something, Mike?
Krill? Yeah, I always say it like wrong.
Q-Will, something like that.
Q-Will?
love him. Yeah, it's like Kuill, something like that. I love him. He has my heart. He's just so cute. I have a thing for like, he just seems like an older guy that just, yeah. And I love that. And he seems like he wants like good in the world, and he's just like good-hearted and stuff. So I love him. Of course, I love the Mandalorian. He's always been my favorite, and Baby Yoda. But he's somebody who stood out to me in the first episode that I loved. And
what was your favorite line of his?
Oh, obviously, it's the line he always says, I have spoken.
I have spoken.
I have spoken. Look at you. So many impressions. No, that's who you are.
What about
so he was my favorite.
What about the female Mandalorian?
Oh, she's all right. Oh, you think because I'm like a female, let's do this. I like her. In the first
No, I mean I liked her too, and I'm not even a female.
Yeah, in the first if we're just talking about the first episode, she was like cool to me, but whatever. But as the series went on, I had different opinion for her. But we'll only talk about the first episode stuff. But she stood out to me a little bit, but she wasn't one of my like favorite characters in the first episode.
I mean, I think it was cool that we saw like a little bit of Mandalorian society. I mean, I guess not society, but society on this little planet. But
the lore of the Mandalorian.
Well, because all we've seen before is just Boba Fett and Jango Fett. So that's all we've ever known about the Mandalorians. And so now we kind of really get a good glimpse into who they really are.
Yeah.
It was a guild. They gave a name, a bondsman guild. That's what they called it, right? The bondsman guild they mentioned one time.
I mean, personally, I just thought it was, I guess I assumed that it was like a bounty hunters guild, but that makes sense too, yeah.
Well, I think that's just what they called it. They mentioned it. But yeah, it was just a bounty hunter guild. It's like the SAG union, the actors union. It's kind of like the union of bounty hunters, right?
Well, the IG units are bounty hunter droids. I mean, that's I think what they were built for, or at least the IG-88, which is the previous one that we've seen before, was a bounty hunter droid, and so we see another IG unit, IG-11 this time, voiced once again by Taika Waititi, one of the great New Zealand.
Wow, that's so interesting.
I'm in love with this guy. I've seen every movie that he's ever made. And,
he was so good, and I didn't even know that was him in Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
He plays Hitler. He's pretty awesome. I'm a fan now.
I haven't seen it yet. Don't spoil it that Hitler shows up.
Hitler shows up right at the beginning, so.
Yeah, you see it in the like trailers and stuff.
I haven't seen it.
Not spoiling it, but it's really. But I didn't know that was my first. What? Every time you laugh, I think you can't hear me.
No, you froze for a second, and you froze like when you were saying he was good. It was good.
But yeah, so I didn't know he was the voice of that. So that's pretty awesome. That I could go back and like re-listen to that. He's pretty talented.
Yeah, I really liked seeing the IG unit because it's one of those things where as soon as you see it, you're like, "Whoa, it's IG-88," and they're like, "No, it's IG-11." Whatever, you're IG. You're IG-88, man. And people were going nuts for him because like this, he's shooting behind the back.
He was kicking ass.
Twists and turns, yeah.
So that's your favorite. He's your favorite.
Oh man, I hadn't thought of that. I only think of questions, not of answers.
You see, now I'm going to interview you.
I've got a question for our audience.
I guess maybe I like Kuiil. What's the question?
Let us know in the comments what you think about all these technical problems. Do you like them or do you not so much like them?
I thought you were going to say, who's your favorite in the first episode?
That's a good question for them also.
Or should we keep bringing back technical problems? Just keep bringing them back.
Seems to be a theme.
Am I the only one that's having technical problems, or it's always like that?
Who knows?
Yeah.
It's you.
It's a mystery.
Now, Jen, what was the most surprising thing? What part did you go like, whoa, I did not see that coming?
If I'm going back to when I saw it the first time and like I didn't really know too much about it, it was the whole Baby Yoda thing.
Yeah, I think I'd be more surprised if there was something that surprised you on the third viewing, honestly.
And the third, I mean, like
Because I went into this not knowing too much. Like I saw Baby Yoda memes, but I didn't know too much of like what was going to happen or what was going on. So when I heard that it was like a 50-year-old, I was like, okay, who's he going after? And then I saw Baby Yoda and I was like, oh my God, that's where because I thought from seeing the whole Baby Yoda thing, he wasn't like a series regular. I thought he was just in like a few episodes. He finds him in like episode 3 or something, and he's just like, but it was like surprising the ending of it, because I was like, oh, he's 50, and then they mention it and he's like, oh, in different species. And so I think that was like the biggest surprise for me, but it was a good surprise.
And he was just a puppet, right? I mean, what do you guys think about that? Did you feel like it detracted from it?
Do you know, was it actually a puppet or was it CGI? Do you know?
It may have been an alien.
Oh, what? An alien? Okay, cool.
No, I'm pretty sure it was a puppet. I mean, it certainly moved and behaved like a Jim Henson type puppet. I mean, I feel like it had to be a puppet, the way that they moved it and they used it, and you never really saw it on its own unless, you could kind of like, you could just see like part of it and see it kind of moving like this, or somebody doing it like a doll. It must have been a puppet. And the
maybe our viewers know. If you know if it's a puppet or CGI, let us know in the comments.
Definitely a puppet. So obviously it didn't detract for you if you didn't even know.
I don't know. Could they make puppets that cute?
I know. I think he's real. I think he's a real Baby Yoda. He's not a puppet.
Or do you think it's just do you think it's maybe just a tiny human that they put makeup on?
Frog costume. A baby. Yeah. I don't know if it's a puppet or I think it is like there though. Because I was reading some director saying like how, I don't know. That's a good question. Now I'm going to have to look that up. I was actually looking up how they did the whole like cruel thing. Like how they made him like look like that and all that. Was that like CGI? Was it like?
That definitely seemed like animatronic mouth.
Yeah. I was trying to look
it
that up.
It didn't move perfectly. It was just kind of like, I like stuff.
Yeah. I have spoken.
Yeah. And I actually looked up how like he's not the Mandalorian's like not in the suit. I mean, what's his name? Pedro Pascal. He's not in the suit the whole time. It's like stunt people does the voice. Yes. So yeah, I looked that up. He's in the suit. He was in the suit sometimes, but sometimes it was just his voice, and he had to work with his stunt people to like get like the mannerisms right and all that stuff.
So it was just the only time he wasn't in the suit was when there were stunts being
done. I'm not sure about that because I looked up. Bryce Dallas Howard directed one episode, and they asked her how it was working with him, and she said she never worked with him before. She just worked with his stunt guy.
No way.
Yeah.
For the entire episode.
For the entire episode, yep.
Wow. So maybe he did just do the voice.
Well, there was some that he was in the suit, I think they were saying. But I didn't know exactly when. But they were saying a few times it was like he had 2 stunt guys and one was like mostly there all the time. So I forgot their names, but I should have wrote it down. But I think it's someone famous is like grandson or something. Is it Clint Eastwood? No. Somebody's famous.
Clint Eastwood is famous, though.
Yeah,
he is a grandson. But it's someone's famous, like, grandson. Or maybe no, it's not Clint Eastwood. It's somebody, I'll look it up. But one of them is, like, the guy who mostly plays him in the suit. So it's pretty interesting.
If our viewers know, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. I'll just look
Somebody
it up.
knows.
Somebody knows.
We don't want to actually have to look things up. We just want people to tell us things.
Yeah,
look up the comments. We have a friend named Darth. He was born with the name Darth because his dad liked Star Wars, and guess if he's now obsessed with Star Wars. The answer is yes. So I bet he knows who that famous guy's grandson is because he knows everything about Star Wars ever, even stuff that's not important like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's grandson or nephew. I'm pretty sure it's grandson, and now I gotta look it up. So,
or grandnephew.
Grandnephew, something.
Or
but he's like
maybe Grand Negus.
Ah, there you go.
But yeah, so you see, I thought you guys knew that, but
no, we don't know as much as you do about Star Wars.
No, I don't know that much about Star Wars. I know more about the Mandalorian. That's it. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, and they just made the 2nd season, so.
Oh, really? That's exciting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they actually finished shooting it, which is good.
They finished shooting.
If they hadn't finished shooting it, it was going to be a long delay. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's crazy out there right now. There's like all this stuff happening, but really at the same time, there's nothing happening out there because we're not allowed to do anything.
Right.
Yeah, it's like crazy and scary, but then I get to be on this because I'm not outside.
Yeah, you could do it outside too if the sound.
I could do it outside too. Well, with the sound problems that we're having inside, I'm sure the sound problems would be worse outside.
As long as your internet works outside.
That's true. I need like one of those hot spots. Might be better actually.
What were you telling us, Mike?
I just came across something on IMDb. That fish guy, Mithril, in the beginning. That's played by Horatio Sands.
No way! There's a lot of comedians in this thing, you know.
Well, I mean, these guys all really love Star Wars, and so it's great for them to be able to be a part of it. Like Simon Pegg was in The Force Awakens, and so I mean, it's just great for these super fans to actually be able to be a part of it nowadays. So.
And Bill Burr was in an episode later on, which is funny.
I think, that was a funny one.
Do you ever watch Bill Burr comedy? Well, you know what? That's not the first episode.
No,
we love
watching the first episode.
We love Bill Burr, but Bill Burr Baggins.
Also, like Jason Sudeikis is in an episode. There's a bunch of people that have like things that you can't even tell that it's.
I only watched the first episode, so I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
Well, wait, no spoilers. No spoilers.
There was another alien called the Nikto. Kind of reminds us of Evil Dead, but no, yeah. When IG-11 and the Mandalorian were going in for the rescue, all those aliens, the way I found that out was by putting on closed captioning. It said, you know, they're chattering in Nikto, you know, or something like that.
Closed captioning is it.
That's how you find out all these extra little trivia tidbits.
Dang it.
Yeah. So they were called the Nikto. And I liked him when he says, draw their fire, I'll take them out. And IG-11 goes, acceptable.
I like how IG-11 kept trying to blow himself up. And then he's like, no, don't do that.
He's like, I'm right next to you, dude. I'm right next to you. Relax. You relax.
And then he wanted to kill Baby Yoda, too.
Not going to happen, dude.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, because he said...
I know.
Because he said he's quite specific. The asset is to be terminated. So whatever his thing was, whatever his orders were, you know, or whomever gave them, you know, it was to kill Baby Yodel.
Yeah. Yodel-a-lee-hoo.
Yodel-a-lee-hoo. People get mad when you call him Baby Yoda too.
Why is that?
Called the child.
What is it? Jen, you said what? Yeah. We even know what the aliens.
No, they just say they call him the child. What?
That's weak. We still don't know what the actual alien is or what the guy's name is. So
I'm saying that like Yoda. I'm just saying like everybody's like Baby Yoda's so cute, and people like get like real true fans like it's not Baby Yoda because that's not Yoda. We don't even know if it came from Yoda. So they call him the child. That's it. But I still call him Baby Yoda.
I kept thinking that. I mean, whatever. I kept thinking we would find out what the race was or what the name was, and we didn't. So if people want to keep calling it Baby Yoda, it's true. It's not Baby Yoda, but we don't know what it is. So whatever.
Yeah, Yoda's dead by this time already. So.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And Jen, you were sad when Yoda died, right?
So Yoda? I was so sad. Do I have a shirt? I think I have a Yoda shirt.
You do, I can see it. Mike can do a good Yoda impression.
Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter.
I love his impressions. I hope you do voiceovers.
I'm doing one right now.
Exactly.
Mike, can you do a Yoda Salacious Crumb combo?
Nope.
That sounded it sounded just like violent vomiting.
I just keep getting worried. I'm like, am I saying it because of the sound and stuff? But
Nope,
yeah.
we hear you loud and clear. And you look like.
And every time you guys laugh, I think I froze like in a weird way. Like every time you laugh, I think that's what happened. So I'm like all paranoid in this one.
Well, you're good now, so whatever you did, keep doing it.
So stop being paranoid about that. Okay, perfect. That's perfect.
I mean, I think it's kind of funny that you're paranoid, so keep doing that. But
yeah,
I'm just a paranoid person. I just want this to go well, and it's just my voice keeps stopping. I keep freezing.
Now, Jen, if you were to just watch this first episode, would you think, you know what, I want to watch the rest of this series? Or would you be like, nah, this isn't worth my time?
I watched the rest of the series twice, so I think that answers the question. I actually I'm the type of person that if I watch the first episode of something and it doesn't make me want to watch the second, I don't force myself to watch it. Like there's been a few shows that people are like, you have to give it to like the fourth episode, and I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. Like this, I didn't even think twice. I just went to the second episode right away and I kept watching.
Or when they say, oh, it gets really good in the third season. Okay, well, wake me up on the third season, dude. Oh, hey, Jen.
Yeah, like, okay, I'll make it through. But I like when they say that. Am I gone again?
No, we see you.
Yeah, there you are.
You're right there.
Yeah, so that's why. So I normally don't give it past like 2 episodes, but the first episode I went onto I think it was already on the 4th episode when I started watching it. So I got to binge watch like 4, and then I had to like wait till the next week, which was like crazy. So like I binge watched like all 4.
So what you're saying is, what you're saying, you had to chill to the next episode.
I had to.
Great.
And I hate that.
Thanks.
Ryan, that was terrible.
No way. I was very proud of that one. I felt really good. I like the silence. In fact, the silence actually feeds me.
Yeah.
So that really felt good for me.
So I'll answer your question next, since you're going to ask me anyway.
Please.
I definitely am interested in seeing more of this show. I mean, if anything,
let's go for it.
Just to see more of Baby Yoda. And I'll call him Baby Yoda. If you want to argue with me, go ahead. I'll fight anybody in the comments.
He's a warrior of the keyboard variety.
I got your back.
What'd you say, Jen?
And I got your back if they want to fight you.
She said she wants to scratch my back.
Too.
Oh, that's sweet.
I said I got your back.
It'll help them sleep at night. It helps people sleep when you scratch their back. It's sweet.
Yeah. It makes you go to sleep.
Okay. Well, I think we're just about out of time here, but do you have any final thoughts on the overall feel, the overall feelings that you had when watching this? Is this an 8? Is it a 10? Is it an 8+? Is it a must watch? What do you think of it, Jen? What about you?
It's
Mike?
a must watch, even if you don't. Even if you're not. Oh wait, did you say Mike or Jen?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Did you say Mike or Jen? I don't know, but anyway, I think it's a must watch, even if you aren't like a big Star Wars fan or you haven't seen it in a while like me. It still brings you in, and it doesn't even matter. Like I told you, even my stepmom, I had her start watching it, and she was like obsessed with it, and she's not like huge in the whole. To go back and rewatch all the Star Wars to refresh my memory. But yes, 8+, 10.
Wow, all of the above. Nice. What about you, Mike?
All of the above. Like I'm really can't wait.
I would also say a 10+ and only because it's like it's not only for Star Wars fans. It's for Star Wars fans. It's for science fiction fans. It's for spaghetti Western fans.
Exactly.
It's for action adventure fans. It's for like crime drama fans. It's got something for everybody.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say the Western, because that's really what it was in that first minute. I was like, oh, I get it. It's a Western. It very much reminded me of. I mean, you brought his name up. It very much reminded me of an old Clint Eastwood movie.
Clint Eastwood.
Where he just kind of walks in. He's the mysterious guy that doesn't say much. He shoots people up. He grabs a bounty, and
He starts the fight, like
Right.
a saloon fight.
Well, even that picture right behind you, Ryan. I mean, he's got that kind of like cape that reminds me of like a Clint Eastwood duster type of thing.
Totally.
And it's kind of like he's kind of like walking into the saloon doors, like, I'm looking for the man who shot my paw. Quack, quack, quack.
So, right.
Staring at him.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, so I thought it was awesome. I was pleased with it. I understand why people liked it so much. I think they liked it because it was quality writing. It was well executed in that, like, the quality was high and there were tons of aliens. It didn't like really seem like they were skimping out on cost of things, you know. And it was very retro. It was very true to the old school kind of Star Wars that everybody knows and loves. It's almost like it's a series that's a love letter to the original trilogy and a love letter to the fans saying, hey, we know what you like. We know what you've been missing. We can hook it up. And the fans are like, awesome. Why didn't you before? And they're like, who cares? Just watch this and enjoy it. And they're like, all right.
Just give us your money for another streaming service.
Do you know anyone that didn't like it? Like Star Wars fans, non-Star Wars fans, like every single person that have seen it or I made watch it loves it. So whether they love Star Wars or not, like, I haven't heard anybody complain about it.
I haven't seen anybody say or act like they didn't like it or anything. I think everybody's enjoyed it, and they all seem like they love it. Honestly,
yeah, I love it. Love it.
All right. Well, with that, we'll call a close to this episode. If there's something you want us to review, just again in the comments say WTF Seinfeld or Friends, as Jen suggested.
I'm gonna comment.
Go ahead. You're allowed.
I'm gonna put WTF and I'm gonna put something.
Or WTF Star Trek, the original series.
Right.
Oh.
So thanks for joining us. Please subscribe to Fallingtower, by the way, because we need subscribers. We only have 600,000 right now. This is ridiculous.
We like all of our viewers, but we love our subscribers.
Especially the new ones and the old
Jurassic Jen only has 150 subscribers, so
go subscribe to Jurassic Jen on YouTube.
Show her some love.
Yeah.
It's Instagram.
This poor lady, dude, she needs subscribers so that YouTube can pay her a few bucks so she can get some internet. I mean, you guys, come on. This is not right. This is not right. This quarantine.
See, I'm going to start a GoFundMe for a new internet service.
Yeah, $9.99 or whatever. Anyway, thanks very much. We'll see you next time, guys.